First, straight off the bat, this video is obviously not monetized. We're not about that here. Second off the bat, Happy New Year. Wish we were starting 2021 with a nicer video. But yeah, rest in peace to MF Doom, to Daniel Dumile. And that is not news that any of us were expecting on New Year's Eve. The news that MF Doom passed away at the age of 49, seemingly passed away a couple of months ago, but we were told about it from his wife basically yesterday. And so I just wanted to do, a short video just talking about my own personal experiences with his music. I mean, if you follow this channel for a while, you'll see there's just two major album reactions on my channel to Mad Villainy and Food. But honestly, both of those album reactions are two of the most sort of life-altering, mind-bending experiences I've had listening to music. I'd heard of MF Doom before, obviously with the iconography, with the mask, before I even started on this journey, and he's actually a name that's quite big amongst sort of British hip-hop fans of a certain age, being my age. So he's perhaps not quite as underground over here as he might be in the States, but irrespective, I'd never heard a full project. I just heard the admiration from so many people, fans and other artists alike. And you can see if you watch those reactions, my mind sort of being unpicked by the end of them on both. And the thing that I've always loved about hip-hop, before I went on this journey reacting to music and really sort of delved deep into the genre and got my study on, like I said, I've always been a fan, different albums, different artists. I didn't have that deep dive obsession, which I think it's fair to say I do now. But the thing I always loved about it and was always blown away by the great lyricists, that kind of mastery of the language, that is something that I think all hip-hop fans love, really. And listening to MF Doom and then following along with his lyrics as well, there's not just mastery of the language, is it? It's not just like this incredible grasp of the English language. It's beyond that. It's almost like Neo seeing through the code of the Matrix at the end of the first movie. His ability to create rhymes, internal rhymes, move syllables around almost in words, create elements of humour out of the concept of just rhyming words, incredible schemes throughout entire songs, stuff that you miss on the 5th, 6th, 7th, 20th listen. The incredible ability to do that is mind-blowing. Truly one of the, in my opinion, true masters of this language, like ever in history. Authors, playwrights, I mean, an almost impossible, incomprehensible level of skill and ability, and to match and marry that with enjoyable music, enjoyable production from him as well, and to make these records, which they might not necessarily be the first thing that you throw on when you just want to listen to some music, but there's no doubt the influence and no doubt the unbelievable, impossible, like I say, quality of these albums. When a situation like this happens, there are people with deeper connections to these artists than I could ever have, in terms of true hardcore fans, maybe fans that have been 20 years plus in fandom. And for those people, like I just feel so much for those fans, because I know how that feels to lose an artist that's really close to you. In Elliott Smith all those years ago, it hurts in a different way. And I think you can sometimes feel strangely alone in that, because obviously you don't know this person, you're not not related to this person, and the pain that you feel and the loss that you feel is not comparable to the people in his close circle and his actual friends and of course his family. But it doesn't diminish it. It's real. It's not just like listening to another celebrity who's passed away. It is very different. So I feel for those fans, and I'm sure a lot of those fans will be able to connect with each other, either in videos like this in the comments or in on social media, etc, etc, etc. But I don't think those feelings should be diminished, because they're very real, and I do feel for those hardcore fans. But to hear that news yesterday, knocked me for six, to be honest, to use an English phrase. Nobody expected it, and what I wanted to do on this video originally, when I just thought I'll do a little video just talking about my experiences with Doom, one of the things that I also experienced with Doom is just hearing so many other artists talk about him, praising him, citing him as a huge influence, citing him as the greatest MC that ever lived. So I was going to go through the internet and track down different things, and honestly, there's a video by a creator called An Absurd Existence. You may have seen it, you probably have seen it. MF Doom, your favourite rapper's favourite rapper. Now it says rest in peace Doom. He's obviously updated the title. This is a brilliant, I'll put the link in the description, a brilliant collation of references in songs from Gambino, Joey Badass, this Danny Brown talking about him, obviously Tyler, Earl Sweatshirt, Most Def, all sorts of artists, artists either referencing Doom in their music or talking about him in interviews. It's a better job than I could ever do of collating it all, because it's all here. So I'd highly recommend clicking on that video if you haven't seen it and watching that one. Obviously, when the news happened, you're seeing every artist that you can think of that you follow on social media talking about it. Look, there's just some examples here. You've got LP, Q-Tip, Tyler, J Electronica, Denzel Curry, JPEG Mafia, obviously IDK, Russ, and more. But I was seeing outpourings from sports figures, from MMA fighters, from people that I had no idea, that I just follow, just normal people that I just follow in regular life, YouTubers. I think his reach and his influence and his impact is wider than perhaps some of us realise. And yeah, he doesn't have the sort of all-conquering success of some of the major artists of the last 20 years that have had massive pop hits, but I don't think that mattered, because his influence and impact was much deeper than that. And you can see the outpouring of emotion that was happening last night and today, and will continue as well. So I mean, personally, I want to listen to more music, so please do recommend some down below. Like I said, this video is not monetized, that's not what this is for, but I mean, it's just such a fucking sad story, a sad situation. Obviously, we don't know the full details, maybe we never will, and it's not up to us to sort of demand or look into that stuff. It's just up to us to say, rest in peace and rest in power to Daniel Dumile, MF Doom, one of the greatest to ever hold a microphone. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you later.